Hello, everybody. My name is Aaron,
And I'm Mike.
I'm Jeff.
and we're joined today by Luke Newland.
Yes,
He is
got
the,
it.
He is the one of the owners and operators of Whiskey Run Golf Club. And where is that located in Canada?
It's Port Colborne, Ontario, Canada, about 35 minutes south of Niagara Falls.
Awesome. And we're super glad to have you on here. We've we talked a little bit before we recorded. We've always wanted to have someone who owns or maintains a golf course so we can ask them questions to kind of hear what it's like to be in that position. So thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah. No, this is great. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's get to it.
Do
Absolutely.
it.
We'll talk about your other side gigs too, because not only do you do the golf, but you got a distillery you're starting up, and you have an app that's very user friendly. It looks like I checked it out, and I think more golf courses could probably benefit from it. So if you run a golf course, hey, we'll talk about it in a little bit, and we'll have Luke give you all the deets on it. So yesterday I got to play in a scramble for it was a work event. And I played the Toledo Country Club, which was it's a really old country club, 1872, something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really old. The layout was incredibly wonky. It crosses two roads. It goes along the Maumee River for a couple holes. There's some spectacular holes. I didn't like that there was nothing marking the tee boxes, so I didn't know what hole was number. We had to find hole number 5. And thank God there was a guy driving around, because there's nothing that denotes this is hole number 5.
I was going to ask,
not even on a scorecard.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, not even on a scorecard.
Just
and then exactly. My rangefinder stopped working. Oh, it's just a mess. And I did not play my best golf for some of it. I did play some pretty good golf for some of it as well. But I played with this guy. I'm not going to say his name because I didn't get permission, but I'm going to call him the Bearded Wonder. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy. Nice amateur golfer, had a really good swing, and he was getting on me and riding me because I'd hit a bad shot, or for me, what I would consider a bad shot. And I kind of grumble and grouse about it a little bit. And he's like, dude, that was a beautiful shot. I would give anything for that shot. Stop complaining. Stop bitching.
What have we been talking about?
Yeah, right. And I said, my buddy Jeff says that to me all the time. So I think I really need to adjust the attitude a little bit, because I don't want to be that guy. Right.
Well, so here's the thing. We're amateur golfers, right? We are not going to hit. I mean, you'll hit a spectacular shot once in a while. We've all done it this year. They've been incredible, but our shots are not that all the time.
No.
We're going to dump a few.
I mean, it happens to everybody. Tom Kim, who is like the next. I mean, if you watch any at the President's Cup, this guy was, on fire. There's one shot where he hit it super fat, and he throws his club down, and it hits just in front of the green, and it ends up pin high. Like, it's just, it happens.
Luke, you, as the owner of a golf course, do you get to play as much as you'd like?
No.
Of course not, right?
No, not at all. I used to play a ton when I was a kid. But yeah, nowadays, maybe if once every couple weeks, 9 holes, maybe, especially because I got 2 young kids right now too. Got a 1-year-old and near and 3-year-old. So it's, they're few and far between the rounds of golf right now.
I can imagine.
When I can get out.
Yeah, that's awesome. The President's Cup, as Aaron stated, was the weekend. The U.S. won 17.5 to 12.5, which, if you paid any attention to the news reports, the Americans were really picked to destroy the international team, because they didn't think the international team had any chance, and that didn't happen. The international team played some good golf from everything I've read and some of the other podcasts I've listened to. Right, so
they did. It wasn't as crazy of a blowout as everyone was assuming it was going to be. And like I was saying, Tom Kim's probably like the name that came out of the President's Cup. 20-year-old kid who just, he acted like he'd been on tour for years.
Saturday session, they really put it in gear, right? They won the Saturday session 3-1, the afternoon session. So they came in hot, and I thought there were some odd choices on the behalf of the Europeans, the international team. Tom was last.
Yeah, last.
Put your gun out.
Yeah, and what point did he play against Max Homa?
Yes.
Too? Yeah, and then he ended up losing, and Max Homa ended up going undefeated for his first President's Cup.
Yeah. Point winners out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Spieth went 5-0. Homa went 5-0. JT went 4-1. Cantley 3-1, and on down the road. Siwoo Kim 3-1. Munoz was 2-0-1. Sungjae Im was 2-2-1. And something that kind of caught me by surprise when I looked at this, Corey Connors went 0-4.
The two Canadians did, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I mean,
Not repping.
No.
Not repping us.
No, they did not.
No.
right.
They're
They're
some great golfers, but
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah, that's rough. It's rough.
definitely better than that. And I thought Corey was primed for a big year last year. So hopefully
Mhm.
he takes any momentum he has and can turn it into something this year. I love him. I'd love to see him do something and win some more. So it was pretty good. So this week we have the Sanderson Farms Championship at the Country Club of Jackson. And we got to do our one and done picks. So Jeff is leading the way because he picks Heath the Gala for the last tournament. Aaron and Tony, who is a friend of the podcast, picked who'd you
Kuchar.
pick Matt Kuchar,
Yeah.
who finished
safe.
like 5th, 6th or
Yeah.
something.
I mean,
and
he's
I picked-
Mr. Reliable. Need him to
Yeah.
make the cut. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, I picked somebody that didn't make the cut, so I'm dragging up the
There
rear.
you
so,
go. It's only the second week.
Yeah,
Anything can happen.
Jeff, Aaron, what do you guys got? Who are you picking this week?
It might be a mistake this early in the season, but liked the way he played in the President's Cup. I'm going with Sam Burns.
Ooh, repeat champion, you think, huh?
He knows the course. He's won on it.
He
Yeah.
does. He does. Aaron, what do you got?
I am just going to go with someone who, again, I think is going to make the cut and go with Keegan Bradley.
Okay, Keegan.
I just trying to save all the good ones for when
Keegan Bradley.
when that money is really, really important.
Yeah, Keegan's the 2012 PGA champ, I think.
Yeah, I
he
think
won.
so.
He won back then, so it's been a while. It's been a while for him. I'm
He's
going
due.
with another. Yeah, he is. He is.
He is
Yeah.
due.
I'm going to go with somebody that's another rookie. I'm going with Taylor Montgomery. So he had a really nice showing last week, coming in 3rd place. I'm going to pick some of these rookies early because I want to save. My strategy is to
Don't tell
save
us.
the great picks for later, right?
Yeah.
But I think the Gala has a really. I don't know if the Gala is playing this week. I thought he was, but I didn't see a final list yet. So if he's playing, he has a decent chance too. But I'm going to save him for later in the year when it really gets cooking and it means a little bit more. So I'm going with Taylor Montgomery. Hopefully he does something good. If he doesn't, well, it's only 2 weeks. So Luke, if you had to pick somebody, who would you pick?
Tiger Woods playing?
There we
What?
go.
Talk about putting somebody on the spot, right? Yeah.
There we go. I
if
like
you're
that
not-
pick.
Yeah, if you're not
Yeah.
paying attention to the field, it's hard to pick. It's hard to make a pick. There's some decent players, but Sam
Yeah.
Burns is the defending champion, and we'll see what he does. On Tuesday, Live Golf. Oh wait, before we get started, so our stance on Live Golf PGA Tour is, hey, these and DP World Tour, they should talk and get all this crap out of the way. I don't begrudge anybody, and I don't think Jeff and Aaron do either, for taking the money, whatever money's available to them, and making as much as they can for their families. Do you have a view on Live Golf and PGA Tour, Luke?
My perspective is, like, aside from all of the kind of rotating, I don't know if you want to call it BS that circles around it.
Yeah.
I mean, competition is good. It's putting the PGA Tour on their toes a little bit, or on their heels, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
And now they've got to make some moves. I don't think they've handled it too well, to say the least. I understand, their sort of their take on it initially, but I think they could have done a lot better job in how they reacted.
Sure.
And they should
Yeah.
be, like you're saying, they should be welcoming. They should be like, let's get to the table. Let's figure something out. Like, this is here. It's not going anywhere. So
Right.
Yeah, and I think the PGA Tour, the players that are still there have a lot of. They need to really thank Mickelson and some of these other players for what the PGA Tour is now, because they were very reactive to what happened with Live Golf. The PGA Tour was, and now that there's all kinds of money that there wasn't money before, right? So
yeah.
getting to the table is a big deal, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it reminded me of like playing sports as a kid, and sometimes like there's that there's the kid who is excelling a little bit better on your rep team, and then he goes to maybe a different city and plays, and you're kind of like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Back here, But this is where the opportunity is, and like these guys are professionals, right? So this is their profession. So like you said, I don't fault anybody for going and taking the money. Like, this is what you do to make money. So
I've always said that I agree with you on that one, Luke. I think that they really took the wrong stance on it. I use the analogy, the horse and buggy manufacturers hated the car manufacturers when they came on the scene, right? So I mean, when there's competition, talk about it.
That shows you how old Jeff is when you're talking about horse and buggy.
I was actually alive when that happened. I just want
to this is a personal deep cut. It's deep cut.
You're right. So Liv announced their format for its upcoming team championship, which is scheduled for the end of October, the 28th through 30th at Trump National Doral in Miami. It's going to consist of both match play and stroke play. And the total purse for this event is going to be $50 million.
They're going to do that all in 3 days?
$50 million. Yeah, in 3 days. So on Friday, the 28th, teams seeded 1 through 4 will receive a bye. Teams seeded 5 through 12 will compete in head-to-head match play competitions. Highest ranked teams select their opponents.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of messed up.
Right. All 32 players amongst the 8 teams will compete in a shotgun start. For each head-to-head team matchup, 3 matches will take place, 2 singles matches and 1 alternate shot foursomes match. Matches will be played out until a winner is determined. Each match winner receives 1 point. Teams earning 2 points will advance to Saturday semifinals. On Saturday, teams seeded 1 to 4 will join the winning teams from Friday for another day of head-to-head team match play. Highest ranked teams select their opponents again. I think that's pretty cool.
Beat on somebody. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a beat down.
Another 32 player, 8-team shotgun start. Same format as Friday, 2 singles matches and 1 alternate shot. And then on Sunday, the 4 winning teams will compete in a shotgun start round of stroke play. All 16 players will compete in twosomes with team captains playing together. All 4 scores count towards the team scores at the end of Sunday's round. The squad with the lowest team score is the Live Golf Invitational Team Champion. So DJ's team of the 4 aces, they have 136 points right now. They've had 4 straight wins.
Hey,
that's crazy.
Right. So
good start.
Yeah, not bad for them for the team.
I'm going to be honest. It sounds like it's going to be extremely, like it's going to be ridiculous to watch. Just bombarded with different things happen. Like the way that you talked about that, I was like, man, that's going to be kind of crazy to watch. Just too much stuff happening.
Well, part of me wants to watch some of it, right? Because I want to see who's picking on who and see if the strong teams actually go against pick the weakest teams and destroy them, or they get knocked out. That'd be interesting. So I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be some solid chirping going on, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mic them all up. It's on YouTube, right? What the hell?
Yeah.
Right. I love that. So as we stated earlier in the when we opened up, Luke is one of the owner operators of Whiskey Run Golf Club in Port Colborne, Ontario. You've been doing this, your family's been doing this for what, like 30 years?
Yeah, 33 years this year. So
wow.
I started in 1989. Yeah, my dad started the course back in 1989, 9 holes only, more like an executive style 9-hole course at first. 92 built another 9, 97 built our third 9, so we got 27 holes. Well, actually 28 now, because we made that our original 9 a 10-hole course now.
Oh, cool.
But,
very nice. Aaron checked it out. He was more active looking at the golf course. Aaron, what did you see that you really stood out to you?
Well, I think for me personally, like you have 3 distinct different styles of courses. So you have like the Parkland style, which is just like the more traditional, then the Link style course, and the tree lined executive course. The Serpent, which is the Link style course, looks awesome. Like just from the pictures, it looks like a really cool piece of property that you guys have. Super fun layout, a lot of water. I think I saw you hit, there's like a par 3 that you have to carry it pretty much entirely over water.
Yeah, you do.
It looked awesome.
Yeah. The water comes into play on 7 of the 9 holes.
Wow.
On that side. Yeah.
That's pretty good. What's your favorite 9 holes, Luke?
My favorite 9, it's probably the Serpent. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They all have
Awesome.
their fun pieces, fun takes, but the Serpent is like it can be fairly challenging at times, especially when the wind kicks up. So that par 3 is usually dead in the wind too. So if it's really windy, it can be
that's a tough shot.
Just from 165 yards, sometimes you get like 5 iron. Typically that's like an 8 or a 9 iron for me. So it's like, yeah.
I had to do that yesterday. We had storms roll through here. We got wet for about 25 minutes, really, really hammered. But then the wind stayed around all day, and there's a 155-yard par 3 dead into the wind, and I hit a 4 iron.
Yeah.
Just so you know how windy it was, and it got up and carried the green just to the backside, but that wind was probably going 45, 50 mile an hour yesterday there on the course. So.
Oh boy. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun.
It was crazy because on the other side I hit a 9 iron 170 yards. So
yeah, that's right. The downwind is better.
Yeah, you gotta love that stuff, especially when it's downwind. Absolutely. So 33 years. Your dad started it. When did you start working there?
When it was open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Forever.
I'm just trying to figure out my age for a second. I think I was 7 years old.
Wow. That's awesome.
What was the first thing you had you doing?
Ball marks, divots. Yeah. So I've literally been in every piece of the business of the golf course. So I've done everything from, the first thing was fixing ball marks. And I was a little kid and I hated getting up early, but you had to get up early to go do it. So you weren't in the way. Right. So I was like, shit. But so fixing ball marks and repair and replacing divots. And then from there, I worked doing carts. I was a cart kid. Then I worked in the maintenance side, so cut greens, laid sod, did all that good stuff. I've worked in behind the bar. I've worked the barbecue for events, and my main job though, my main focus was in the pro shop, in the golf shop. That's where I spent the majority of my time, right on the front line there.
Is that what you enjoy the most, or is there a different aspect that you enjoy more?
What I enjoy more is actually what I've been doing more recently over the last probably 8 to 10 years has been the marketing side. Even though I'd still be on the front line working in the pro shop, I did handle most of the marketing for the golf course. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I see you all over the vids and doing stuff and hyping up, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. It does. It's a lot of work. We know that, right? Because the courses around here, we see them working all the time, and we're all early golfers. I want to be out at sunup, and we're always running into the mower guys. They're always working around us, and I appreciate it for them for letting us do that, because it's kind of a hassle. I understand that, but we don't like playing, and we don't like playing with people in front of us.
Yeah, I got that from you guys. I got that. Low plays, it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, and especially when around here. You're lucky if you get longer than 8 minutes between tee times. That's a good, range.
Wow. Yeah. They go less than 8 minutes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Really?
8's pretty normal, but yeah.
Well, there's not a lot of policing that happens either. There's not a lot of guys, people watching the people teeing off and making sure that it's their time, things like that. So, and then Saturday mornings in the summer here, Sunday mornings in the summer here, it can get pretty stacked up. And if people aren't paying attention, it just creates a backup, a log jam immediately.
Absolutely.
That's difficult to get rid of. And
yeah,
I don't have a problem with people who play slow, right? It's just especially if you're not very good. I understand what it's like. We've all been there.
We've all been there. That's for sure. Yeah.
But have someone police the golf course. Have a marshal out there that says, "Hey guys, why don't you pick it up a little bit? You lost contact with the group in front of you. Do something like that." So,
your places don't have that.
No rangers, haven't had. So the course we play on most of the time used to be a private course, right? Went public about 8 years ago, and I was actually a caddy on that course when I was a kid, and then on the board of directors when it was still a private club right at the end, and we ended up having to make the decision to sell it.
What was it like going from the feather ball to the next level of the ball?
I think the biggest innovation in golf was when we got out of those wooden clubs. I think
the hickory shafts, when you advance
shafts.
out of it. Yeah. That was a good time.
It's big stuff. But smartest. But anyway, so now I'm curious about something, Luke. So I was reading a lot about. It seems to me over the past 3 years have been some pretty dramatic changes for your golf club there. And did you talk about how you've really turned the corner on revenue, and revenues are on their way up, and you're having a great experience? It's interesting. It matches right up with TripAdvisor reviews and things like that. It's showing on the way that people perceive your course. So
That's good.
I'm hoping, beyond hope, that the owners of our local clubs are listening. What has it been in the last 3 years? Like, I know there's no magic bullet, but maybe you can share a little bit about what you did. What can people do with their golf courses to make them better, like you've done, or you seem to have done?
Yeah, well, there's a number of things. I think that one of the biggest things I would focus on is what we did. And it's actually kind of rolls into what I've done with Birrdi and how I co-founded Birrdi. Is we went all in with the loyalty program for our golfers. So, and having one that actually works, that people use. I've tried years to get one going using software and promises that overpromised, underdelivered. And until I was able to really put in a loyalty program that was effective, that actually moved the needle, people were excited about, that's when things changed. So, and that was a big jump, because there's on the golfer's side, you're appreciating the fact that I'll tell you exactly what we do. We give 10% back on everything you spend at a golf course when you join our loyalty program. So on my side, I'm like, it's a no-brainer, but like it's still, if it was slow, if it didn't work, if it was hassle trying to get through it, that's a big problem. And so when I made the switch, and I literally changed our entire software stack, you could call it, back in 2019, one of my main drivers was loyalty, and I wanted to be able to have a program that really gave value to the golfers. And once we went all in with Square and Birrdi, and we can go into it a little bit deeper in a second, that's when I was really happy, and I noticed that the golfers were also really happy about it too.
So I'm on your website, and one of the things that I really look for, and just me personally, because I'm weird, is I always, when I go to a website, if it's a garbage website, I'm going to click off of it immediately. Your 100%. Website's super easy to navigate. Everything's right there in front of you, easy to find. And then I'm on the Birrdi, like looking through your tee times, and I see that you're offering 2 times loyalty rewards for people, like for specific tee times.
Yeah.
You can view your tee times that you set for yourself here. I mean, it looks like a pretty cool system.
Yeah. Well, the idea is to keep it simple too.
Yeah. It's super simple. I mean, it's very user friendly.
Keep it simple, easy, and it works. So it looks at when I was going through, because probably the last 10 years is when I was really trying to find software that would work, and everybody did the same thing. Like I said, they overpromised, underdelivered, and they said their software would do something, and they all looked exactly the same. So I mean, if you went to book a tee time online, even now, like you go to most.
Oh yeah, most of the golf courses have.
Same.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
So with Birrdi, we went completely different. And I'm going to steal a line from one of my co-founders. He said, "We don't replicate, we innovate." And so if you look at our tee sheet versus anybody else's, is completely different. It's different style. I equate it to like picking your seat on an airplane. That's how we look at. We got those 4 golfer icons. You can see how busy it is. You can pick a time that you want. Shows up if you're getting extra loyalty points. We call them whiskey bucks. That's all in there. So yeah, it's good. It's key to keep it simple.
And that applies.
That sounds awesome.
Everything. You can 10% off if you get something at the clubhouse, if you buy a drink, whatever. I mean, it's pretty much whatever you're spending at the golf course, you're just getting 10% back.
That's right. Anything.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't restrict it. I don't get nickel and dime it. You get 10% on everything you spend on your membership. Which if other operators are listening to this, probably think I'm nuts, but like anything, we don't restrict it.
And you don't have to be a member to get the loyalty points.
Nope. No.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because we have members and we have public play. So
yeah,
you get 10% on anything.
Nice. Cool. And it's called Birrdi Inc. and it's BIRRDI Inc. Aaron will put a link in the description below, so people can check it out if they want to. And you can go to www.birrdigolf.com, right, to get information on it.
Yeah. And it's funny that my one co-founder, Michael, who's our software engineer, like he originally started this back in 2017 because he was getting pissed off that he was going back to the same place, and they weren't recognizing him at all and not doing anything, nothing off the back end, nothing automated, nothing. It's just like, oh, okay, thanks, Mike, go on, see you later. And that frustrated him. So he's like, all right, I'm going to build software for it. And this is sort of where we're at.
Well,
nice.
We've talked about it at length, where there's no reason for us to join our local club because we don't get any benefits. We don't get any reserved tee times. There's 2 restaurants and a brewery attached to the course. Nothing. We don't get anything for it. It's just, there's no incentive for us to join if we can't even have first pick of tee times or something like that. It's frustrating. And, they don't recognize us. They might recognize my dad and Jeff a little bit because they've gone there and they go there a little bit more, but for the most part, it's a, hey, here you go, have fun. And then that's it.
Yeah, even with my history with that place, I'm just, another name. And that's one thing we've talked about a little bit is, why can't you find, why don't they have reserved tee times? Why don't they have any of that? Do you with your memberships, are there like member play times or member preferential tee times or anything like that? Is that normal?
What we found and what we do is basically, I don't have preferential tee times. We open the tee sheet up. We give 4 weeks out. You can book a tee time.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. And the data shows basically that anybody booking outside of 5 days is a member. It's ridiculous that it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a member. So that's why we've kind of stayed away, because that complicates things as well with the booking system. We want to make sure it's very straightforward, very simple. So that's how we've handled that.
That would be awesome, because we would do that. This is the first year I haven't been a member of the club in a while. Work issues, and I wasn't going to play quite as much as I had in the past. It just didn't make sense to do it. But Jeff's right. There's really no reason for us to join unless you think you're going to cover the costs and go over that.
Right.
If we had 4 week in advance tee times, we'd have the same tee time every Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah,
every Saturday.
It'd be the first one too.
Yeah, and during the week, I can play 9 holes. I can walk 9 holes before work, and there's never, when I was a member there was never a need for a tee time because nobody else is crazy enough to be out that early, except for maybe Jeff and Aaron occasionally, right? So, but I love walking 9 holes fast and getting in the exercise and the work and having some fun before that happens. So I think that'd be cool. Maybe we could talk to them about that, Jeff, and maybe they'll listen to us. I don't know. What do you think?
I didn't listen to us much about the bunkers, so I can't see it. About anything
and again,
else.
We've talked about this so much at this point. We don't want to come across as people who are just now
that's what I'm looking for. Now we're assholes.
Well,
you're passionate golfers, right?
Well, and it's one of those things too where we also recognize how much better the course is now than it was in the last couple of years. But there's still just a couple things that we're just have been a consistent problem for years and years and years and years that are still happening. But the new management did a good job this year. The course was in decent shape. It's just glass and bunkers that I found a few weeks ago. That was something crazy. Where I had gotten new shoes, so we were on 16 and my feet were killing me. So I took my shoes off and I was walking barefoot and I went to go step in the bunker and I was like, there's glass in this bunker. This is not good.
That's so wild.
Yeah, it's just that.
Well, it's a party course, right? And we understand that. We know what we're getting. They want as many outings as possible. They're going to make money off the alcohol, and obviously somebody brought their own whatever in and smash it in the bunker. Yeah. But they don't pay attention to the little things, like the bunkers aren't edged really well. There's weeds in them constantly, or twigs and sticks and garbage and other stuff that's always in the bunkers. And hey, we're not pros. So we end up in the bunkers enough where it's annoying to be in there because it's just, you're always cleaning a spot for yourself to hit.
For
So
sure. That's something we struggle with all the time. I'll tell you, bunkers, operating a golf course are the biggest pain in the ass and the most costly things to have because they're labor intense. The upkeep on them is just like, it makes you not want bunkers as an operator for sure. They look pretty too when you have them done up. They look great, but in terms of like practically building it into your maintenance budget, it's just like if something could go, I'd get rid of them all.
So what I'm hearing is they're not just a sandbox. Is this why my dad would let me have a sandbox when I was a kid? I mean, same principle, right?
Yeah, no, not just a sandbox.
Do you have the same issues that we have here in the States with hiring people, getting people to work and do the job? Are you always short staffed, or are you pretty good with help?
We've been fairly good with our team and having good retention with our team. The only problem where it hurts is like now, right? Latter part, beginning, latter, in between, we're good. We haven't had a problem, but as we get out into the school year with the kids going back to school, and that's where a lot of the help comes, especially at our bar restaurant, and some extra hands out on the course in terms of maintenance, and even in our pro shop. So that's where watch your headset.
Did Willie step on your cord?
Oh, that was Lexi.
Oh, there you go. Gotta love the pooches. How was COVID? How did COVID impact you guys?
Yeah, other than like really making some changes with it, how we had people maneuver through the pro shop and bar restaurant, like other than that, like in terms of golf, I'm sure as you guys know, that's where it took off. And like,
you guys didn't close down or anything. That's
unfortunately good. We did. Yeah,
okay.
We had to. We were forced to by our government. So yeah, they shut us down twice for 6-week periods, both last year and the year before.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really sad because we had like the best start ever last year.
No,
by like a landslide, and it was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then we shut it down for 6 weeks.
What's the biggest complaint you get from golfers?
Things you guys talk about, to be honest, like slow play, bunkers, that's
the usual shit then.
Yeah. They're too frequent things that come up. Something we try to do our best to hedge against. We do have what we call player assistants out there. We have a starter on the tee all day long.
That's nice.
Nice.
So because that's critical, right? Because even like you're talking off the start, if you have two groups stack up against each other really quick, they get off quick, you got to know how to stagger that too, because if everybody gets off really quick, there's going to be a log jam at some point, which is going to filter backwards. So like it's key to manage. We also have I used a little bit of technology with that too on our golf carts. We've got a thing called Tag Marshal that tracks the golf carts, so we can see where all of our carts are, and it'll highlight them if they're running behind, because we have set times for each hole.
That's cool.
If somebody's running behind, the guys in the pro shop can be like, hey, can you take a look at hole 4, see what's going on? Just some things to sort of hedge against that. Yeah.
Well, those are the little things that I think are missing out here for the courses we play. And we play courses in here in Ohio, in Indiana. We're about 45 minutes from Fort Wayne, Indiana. They got several nice courses there. Michigan's not far away either. We get lots of nice courses there. This year, for whatever reason, was the year of slow play. We played a course in Fort Wayne, Jeff, that was 5.5 hours for the round.
5.5.
Riding a cart. I mean, 4 of us walk a course that's got some hills to it. It's not flat. We could walk it, 4 of us, in 3.5 hours and have an enjoyable round.
What time did you guys tee off at?
10 o'clock.
Cherry Hill. It was
9:30.
No, it was 9. It was 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30 in the morning. So, and we got to the second hole, and we were the third group waiting on the second hole. Yeah. So I called up the guys in the clubhouse and said, hey, I just want you to know, on the second hole, there's already 3 groups waiting. They're like, oh, it'll loosen up, I promise. And never did.
But
that's not the right response.
Yeah, well,
we did have a little bit of an epiphany. There was a couple in front of us, and actually in a par 3, they picked up their ball. Like they felt like they were waiting too long because we were standing on the tee. we had a conversation after the hole, and I said, you guys cannot feel pressured by us. We're the wrong people to put pressure on you, because we'd play this round in 2 hours in a cart if we could get it done.
Yeah.
So we're not
And
that guys.
I think maybe that's one of the reasons why we're so vocal about it, is because there's nothing in place to fix it. And I think that's where we find the most frustrations is every golf course we go to around here, unless it's a private golf course, we're going to run into these problems, because there are no marshals out on these golf courses. And
there's no starters.
Has anybody told you why? Why there's no starter?
I think that's just the culture of golf in the Midwest too, unless it's a private course. Or unless it's
money.
a little, yeah.
I don't think people have enough. Yeah, they don't have enough help. We go to golf courses now, and we're facing a pretty interesting staffing issue. It's not that people don't want to work. People want, in my opinion anyway, people want more, right? They're tired of the 10, 12, 13, 14 bucks an hour.
And they don't want to work.
And there are those that don't want to work. Our government gave away money for a long time.
And over
so do we.
And
so
over
do we.
It was a challenge. I think there's a staffing issue here. You look at golf courses, there's nowhere near the number of people on them when you look at workers, and especially on the maintenance and the mowing the grass and things like that. We just don't see the people we used to see. So I'm sure it's a struggle, but yeah, there's no one policing it. You know, when I called the clubhouse, they said, "Oh, we have a camera. We're paying attention." Look around. There's no camera. What are you talking about? Huh?
We're paying attention. No, yeah. From my experience, you can't manage it from the pro shop, even with the camera.
Yeah, and we know who the fucking problem was, right? We could see the group, 3 groups in front of us lose contact with the group in front of them, and then we never see anybody again in front of them. It's just 10 minutes to look for a ball. It just, the frustration builds. We might not be the most patient people in the world when it comes to that.
So yeah, we're being honest.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
So tell me about your membership. How many members you guys got?
Well, we range anywhere from 350 to 450.
That's not bad.
That's
not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We used to offer, in golf, it's funny because we like to overcomplicate things for whatever reason, both with our swings actually playing and on the business side. So we used to offer over 30 variations of membership. If you wanted, if you wanted a membership for Wednesday after 2:30, sure, so a few years back, I ended up chopping that down to only 5, and they were just unrestricted memberships, 5 different classes, and that was it. So that really boosted up our membership numbers. We've been over 400 for the last few years now, but that can range. But yeah, that simplifying things, just like we do with the tee sheet and giving back with our loyalty program. This is a few key things that if
I really like that
operators
loyalty program. I mean, that's such a cool idea to draw people in, and to keep people coming back and engaged at your location. It's just a super simple thing that you can do to give people back a little bit and just get them coming back.
It's difficult to pull off, and I would say,
for sure, I bet it is. I bet it is.
If anybody's listening, any operators are listening, it's I'd basically trash any software you're thinking of using and just go with Square. And Birrdi, of course.
Yeah, and Birrdi. Which, by the way, Birrdi did comment. We're live on Facebook, and they gave us a couple hearts in the chat. So I think
nice.
I think someone's listening there.
Ooh, nice, awesome. That's cool. You also are starting something that's near and dear to a lot of golfers, because we're not quite alcoholics, but a lot of us like to drink, especially on a course, right? Yeah. You're doing was it Lake Effect Distillery, which is not open yet, but it's coming soon, right?
That's right. Yeah, Lake Effect Distillery is about 4.5 years in the making now. So a lot of red tape to get through, but we're firing up the distillery, our golf course, Whiskey Run Golf Club. It got that name because when the guys were laying down the initial irrigation pipes for the first 9, they kept digging up old whiskey bottles.
Cool.
And so, yeah, like even the ceramic and glass ones. So we still have a few of them kicking around, which are really cool. But on the drawings, the guys wrote on the top of it, Whiskey Run. And when
That's
my
super
dad,
cool.
when my dad saw it, he's like, that's the name of the golf course.
It has
Let's
to
go.
be. There's no other choice at that point, I feel like.
Yeah. So we ended up finding that the property was actually used during Prohibition in the US.
There we go. I wondered.
To run booze right across, because we're right by Lake Erie. So it's a hop, skip, and a jump, over to either New York or PA. And they were delivering some illegal booze. So now we're doing it legally.
Right.
Nice.
Now, is this something where you started distilling like yourself and it was just like a hobby you picked up, or have you always kind of been interested in it?
Well, I've always loved whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when we were looking. Actually, it came about really because golf, if you guys knew, I don't know, for business wise, was kind of in the shitter for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of golf courses closing. And we were pretty stagnant in terms of revenue numbers, but expenses rising. So looking at different sort of verticals for our business to move to, and distilling seemed like the natural path, honoring our land's history. And if we could pull it off, not really knowing all of the hoops we had to jump through at the time, but we're ambitious enough to give it a go, and we're nearly there. We're only a couple weeks out. Electricians are kind of finished buttoning up everything there, and one more sign off and we should be good to go.
Now, do you have batches already distilled and you're ready to go, or are you off label?
No.
You're selling other folks? How's that?
No, not
for
yet.
You?
Not
Okay.
yet. Not yet. So we've got to wait until we get the green light.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of tape to jump through.
So are you?
I could imagine.
Yeah, you doing your own then? Are you going to have your own label?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's your brother that's doing it. Is that right? Is that what I read?
That's right. Yeah. It's my older brother. So he's the one who's really into, like, even way back into the brewing and distilling, even though distilling, not really distilling. So let's not say that. But he was really into that part of it. And so when we were thinking about going this route, he was like, absolutely. Like, yes, I know how to do this stuff. Like, let's go. And he even ended up taking a course at the college at Niagara College in the Falls. That is a distilling course. So it's a 2-year program, and he took that and he's completed that. And he's been out west in BC, where he spent a couple of weeks with a really high up master distiller. And so, he's pretty jazzed up, or amped up, I should say.
Yeah, I bet
Amped
he's
up.
ready to go.
Oh, look at you go.
Well
I
done,
love it.
sir.
You said it.
Yeah.
We have some friends and some fellow amped golf enthusiasts that are in the Amherst and Buffalo, New York areas. So
Yes,
we're definitely
Stones throw away.
Yeah, we're definitely going to send them your way. And I actually think we could probably do a meetup there next spring. I don't think we have it in our timetable to do it before the winter hits this year, but I think we can do it next year. It's what, 3 years or 4 years for it to be officially like a Canadian whiskey?
Canadian whiskey is 3 years in an
3 years? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we can pull it any time. So
Right.
like you can, but you just can't call it, Canadian whiskey. So
gotcha.
You can make it just like bourbon, but you can't call it bourbon.
Yeah, exactly.
It follows all the rules. So
that's right.
Yeah. I was looking at the website
and charred, blah blah.
Yeah.
The website is funny because it shows closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday closed except for 4 to 5 p.m. closed Saturday, Sunday. So what is the 4 to 5 p.m. on Friday?
That was it. Because we're selling T-shirts on there, and if you wanted to pick it up, that's the window.
Nice, perfect.
You got an hour to come pick it up.
I love it. I saw that. I'm like, well, I
Otherwise,
wonder
ship it
what the
out.
hell they're doing between 4 and 5 because I kind of want to be there.
That's
So-
when the
I
action
gotta-
happens.
That's right.
So I gotta know, Luke, are you a Canadian whiskey, a bourbon, or a Scotch or rye? Actually, I should ask that. Throw that one in there too. What's your variety?
Bourbons.
Bourbon. Okay. What's your
Yeah,
favorite
I'm a bourbon guy.
You got a
I
favorite
love it.
bourbon?
I do, and it's nothing fancy. I really like the Elijah Craig small batch.
Yeah. I got a
And-
bottle in my.
Yeah, love it. Like for such, I mean, up here it cost me, I think, $49, but probably for you guys it's probably like 20 something. And I love it. It's
That's good stuff.
fantastic.
It is good stuff.
Yeah,
Well, I
my
think
sipping bourbon is Buffalo Trace. That's my normal.
That's another great one. Yep.
Yeah.
The bullet bourbon got me started on bourbons.
Yeah,
That's a good
That
one.
one
Bad
got
one
me
either.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little more apple kind of taste to it. It's nice.
A little spicy.
Yep.
I'm more of a Guinness guy, so I haven't got into the whiskeys or the bourbons or anything like that.
I don't miss any Irish whiskey in with the Guinness. No?
Well, occasionally if they have the right one, yeah, I don't mind having a little chaser. But the Aaron and Jeff are definitely more the aficionados than I am. So, and my wife actually, Jeff's turning my wife slowly.
There's one time I got a bottle of scotch and Sarah was like, "Let me try that," and she did. She's like, "Oh, I like that. That's good." There you go.
Yeah. So she's got that going, and that's really cool. What's something everybody needs to know about Whiskey Run that maybe not be out there for everyone to know?
Well, I think you get 10% back on everything you spend.
Nobody
else is doing that.
Yeah.
No one is. I've never seen that in a golf course ever.
No. So we're gonna have like two extremely unique things for a golf course. One, we're gonna have a distillery on it, and two, we're gonna give you 10% back on everything you spend.
That's great.
And that's just nothing anybody's doing.
It's a good thing
cool.
I don't live near you, Luke, because really what I would do is just direct deposit my paycheck.
Yeah.
And then
you can keep a card on file with us.
There you go. Perfect.
There because
they're only 5 hours away, Jeff. No, almost 6. But
I can work from anywhere, so
can I.
Morning drive.
Yeah, that's a nice.
The way we drive is 4.5 hours.
That's 4.5
max. We'll have to go up through Canada and take that way, right? Oh no, we
it's
don't
the
want to do
fastest
that.
way. It's the fastest way.
I know, but gas is more expensive. So you gotta pay attention. You gotta factor that into the trip, right? So awesome. So what do you think in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? When do you think this place is going to be open and people can come taste your whiskey?
Well, we'll be at least manufacturing, hopefully in the next month or so.
Awesome.
Ooh.
So start making it. The whiskeys again. If we make Canadian whiskey, that'll be 3 years, but we'll have some other ones before that for sure. Because my brother has made a bourbon style whiskey and aged it for 6 months, and it was phenomenal. So you could pull it at any time. That's what's good about that. And we'll have some good stuff. Hopefully, by the beginning of next summer for sure.
That's awesome.
Ooh. All right, we'll definitely have to plan our trip around that, right, Jeff and Aaron?
Right. Do we look for the? So I imagine you're not thinking about distributing and things like that yet. We're probably gonna have to come visit you. But if I were to have a friend stop by, I'm sure that there could be a way to get it back across the border. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Easy peasy.
Absolutely. Hey, Ed Redmond, I know you're listening. You're probably an hour away.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll have to have a conversation.
Does he live in Amherst?
Yeah, he lives down in Amherst. So
he does. Yeah,
he's not that far away. That would be awesome.
No, he's super close.
Yeah, he is, and he loves golf. So we'll see if we can get Peter to join us as well and do that. Although that'd be a 5-some, and we don't want to be that group, right?
No, we don't necessarily want to be that group.
That's okay. There's no Marshal out there, so you're fine.
Yes, we're slow. Get used to it. Come on. Awesome. So you grew up around golf. Are you sick of it yet? I mean, are you sick of the business, or is this something that's just you're so passionate about you're never going to leave it?
I am not sick of the business. I'm not sick of golf, that's for sure. I love golf. I love playing it. I just infatuated with it. Business side of thing is always evolving too, especially with different projects and things that we're getting into, like distilling, and being able to implement things like our loyalty program. Like those are things that would be, if I was in another person's shoes, it would be really difficult, I think, to be able to pull that off and be able to implement that. So doing it and seeing success with it, it just gets me more excited for more things. There's so much opportunity, and there's so many areas that I can improve on significantly. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to get tired.
Nice.
You're always, from what I read, innovation's critical for you. I mean, it's really important, and I know that the distillery is part of that. You're innovating the brand or the experience at that point. But do you see anything coming down the road from an innovation perspective that you think without giving away the farm, right? I don't want you to share your secrets, but do you see something coming that's going to be hot? Do you think?
Do you mean in terms of like what's coming in golf, or like with me, like personally? And
sure, whichever one. Open mic night here.
Open mic night. Well, I think we're gonna do some really cool stuff with Birrdi. We've mostly focused on sort of the operator side of things and really haven't touched too much on the golfer side. So when we get down that road, I don't want to speak to anything because I don't want to say it and then not deliver. So, but like we've got a few really, really cool things in the pipeline for that side of it. That's something I'm really looking forward to that could really shake things up. But yeah, that's what I got.
Are there ways for operators to contact you if they're interested in Birrdi and using that system on your website?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they can go to birrdigolf.com, BIRRDI golf.com, and there's contact forms there. You can reach me. My email's luke@whiskeyrun.com. And up here in Canada, we don't spell whiskey with an E, so it's WHISKYRUN.
I noticed that. Kept typing it the wrong way. I was annoying.
Yeah. There's a little trick to that. Did you know? Do you know a little trick to knowing if it's spelled with an E or no?
I don't know the trick.
Okay, so I learned this a few years back, actually. So if the country has an E in its name, they spell whiskey with an E. So if you look at Ireland, E in whiskey, United States, E in whiskey. If there's no E in their country name, then they don't spell with an E. Canada, no E. Scotland, no E. Japan, no E.
Interesting.
Thailand.
Yeah, so it's a cool little way to.
Wow. Yeah, that's a cool way to remember it.
God, that's one of those obscure facts now I'm going to have in my head for the rest of my life. I love it. That's awesome.
Me too. I love those facts. That's great.
Tell it at the parties.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is a Canadian thing because we learned it from a Canadian. Okay, so do you have a favorite golf tournament that every year, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to follow this from start to finish, even if I can't watch it, I'm just going to be glued to the app or whatever?
Yeah, it's always the Masters.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
Yeah. It's just like that's the one.
It's got to be.
Yeah. It is. We're going to do something special next year. Jeff and Aaron don't know it, but they're going to take off Thursday and Friday of the Masters, and we're going to have a Masters party, and we're gonna go nuts. So we usually get together on Sunday and cook and watch TV and hit balls in the net in the garage and stuff like that. But
love it.
The Masters is probably our favorite, right, Jeff, Aaron? You
yes.
think?
Oh yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. Nothing beats it.
No, nothing beats it. It's like the start of golf season for us, really.
That's
if we have a decent spring, we can get out earlier. But if the winter was really shitty,
the problem as an operator is that everybody watches the Masters and then thinks comes out to the course and is like, well, what's going on here, guys? Like, why isn't everything?
Why are
Georgia blooming here?
Yeah,
what is going on? The heck's going on? It's like, guys, just snowed last week. Like, relax.
Right.
Yeah.
April.
We're in Canada. It's like here we can get really lucky and have a mild winter, or we can get slammed, and we're not golfing until May, right? So we hope it's not that. Though they're saying this year it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be feisty this year.
Yeah, it's going to be feisty.
Feisty's a good name for that.
Yeah.
All right. How about golfers? Who's your favorite golfer?
Well, I mean,
it's got to be. Got to be.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm that age where I grew up. Yeah, that's right, man. It's just no question.
Go.
He's the man. He just caddied for Charlie in a tournament that Charlie shot his lowest score in a tournament. I think he shot like a 65 or 66, something like that.
So crazy.
And how'd you like to be a kid on that tournament? And you look over and Tiger Woods is the caddy.
I'd love it.
Yeah,
I'd just be asking him questions all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, his putter sold, was it last week? His backup putter sold for $300,000.
Yeah.
He may have never used it. It was just a backup. It's $300,000, man. That's crazy. Crazy. That name though carries a lot of weight. So
absolutely.
They're golfers.
For Charlie. I don't know. You know, I don't.
Man.
You just gotta.
Yeah.
That's a tough road, man.
Especially if
That's
he
a
ends
tough
up going
road.
down that route. I mean,
Eesh.
he's not
Yeah.
going to want it, but everyone's going to heap all the expectations onto him.
Oh yeah, and
Yep.
like for him to replicate the drive that Tiger had is like it's not happening, right?
No.
He's in a completely different situation, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, man,
Yeah.
But
he
he
might
is-
be able to play some good golf, but like,
Yeah.
There's never going to be
tough.
another Tiger Woods where the player is so dominant for so long until life kind of got in his way and interrupted him. I mean, everybody thought he was going to break the record for Jack's record for majors won and things like that,
Mhm.
right? So, but he got derailed a little bit, and a lot of people still give him a lot of shit about some of the transgressions he had.
Yeah, of course.
We've talked about that a lot. Everybody's making mistakes, right? You know, I think he's come a long way in trying to be a better person, be a better father, you know,
Mhm.
and I think he's done more for the game of golf. I think we all agree with this than anybody before him ever.
Absolutely.
You know, so
No
how can you
question.
not love him? How can you not love him?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
is there somebody now that you follow that you look at and go, holy shit, this guy's great?
No.
Do you follow
That's
much professional golf at all, or like get a chance to really watch it much?
I catch it every so often.
Mhm.
I'm not deep into it like I would have been a few years back. But nobody really catches my eye like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So
Well,
I'm
it's
sitting
once
back
in a
waiting.
lifetime. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
was a
right.
phenom.
We thought Scheffler would have the year after his hot start, but then he kind of tailed off after the Masters win, and it was really a tale of a couple of different seasons because you know Rory had his season, Cam Smith had his season, Xander Schauffele had a decent season, you know. So there's not that dominant player anymore like Tiger was for those years. So it was pretty special to be able to watch that.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
I don't think people
We're-
coming up behind us that are younger are ever going to understand what Tiger really did and how dominant he was. For me, as a Patriots fan, because I grew up in New England, right? You know, hey, we had 20 years of dominance. Now we suck, but it's okay. You know, I can't complain.
We had a good run.
Yeah.
We had a really good run, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So, man, we're all sitting here looking at you going, we really want this in our life, right? We want, Aaron and I have talked about it. If we ever came into a boatload of money, the first thing we do is buy a golf course. But I don't know if we actually would because of the work involved with it, right?
That's right. Everyone gets into golf thinking like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna play a ton. And you slowly, well, not even slowly, you abruptly see the rounds of golf you play drop significantly. And it is a lot, and there's so many different dynamics with golf, right? You've got especially if you're running a food and beverage side of it, like I always say like golf is like 7 different businesses wrapped into one.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a retail, you've got a restaurant, you've got a lawn maintenance,
Mhm.
you
Right.
know, you've got
Landscaping business,
yeah, you've got professional services. If you've got lessons, you've got an online aspect of it. If you're selling things online, you got an e-commerce side. Like there's just like all these different things that you have to kind of be at least knowledgeable, competent about. And some of them run pretty deep to do it right. So it can be, it has its challenges. And on top of that, I mean, you have a labor force that you've got to really like look after and manage. Managing a lot of people in a lot of different areas who have different needs and different wants, and trying to balance that it's full time.
Yeah. What does it look like in a winter for you guys? I'm sure things taper off a bit, but does a restaurant and bars keep going? Do you have simulators that you use and rent out? Anything like that?
We only have one. We have a smaller sort of indoor clubhouse. We got a big outdoor pavilion for our events during the year. It's like 3 season, right? But for the winter, we have just one simulator. We run a league on it, and we keep minimal stuff in the restaurant bar, but we typically haven't kept that open over the winter. It's just it's not cost effective for us.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. The population in your area, what's it like? You 10, 15, 20,000 people or?
Yeah, Port Colborne, this town's got 19,000.
Oh, that's not tiny.
Defiant size, really. Then
Yeah, it's about
our town.
That's about the same size as we got here. We just had some simulators put in, as a matter of fact, I think, Jeff, right? Didn't we?
North of town. Yeah, out to putt.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that'll be a little bit closer than we normally travel in the
yeah,
wintertime.
look at that.
For sim
We might be
time.
there this weekend, the way the tee times are shaping up.
We could do that actually on Saturday.
Yeah, we're actually talking about since we're starting to get a little bit more serious about things, building out our website, and Aaron and I, Jeff, probably start working on that. And since your background's IT, we might need you on this as well. Get the website up and going.
Yeah,
like everything I use for my golf course is Square. So like that was something that is a game changer for me, because that was what happened in 2019 when I was frustrated with everything in golf software, and these tee sheets that all look the same. And then everybody tried to build a point of sale system, and then there's payment processing on top of that. And there's all these, again, like so many different dynamics, and it's so difficult to do it and do it right, which I went through. I went through 4 different providers before that. I think I demoed every single one that was in the industry, that until actually I had a coach mentor of mine who was like, hey, like this is trash, like look at Square, right? And so I spent probably like 40 hours ish going through everything it had and did my own sort of due diligence on it, and I was like, yes, I want everything that this has to offer. And that's when there wasn't a tee sheet, which is how we came about with Birrdi, and we started that up and to work together with that. Like, but for everything, if you got to start a website and if you're going to sell anything online, I mean, I think Square is phenomenal, because if you like my website, that's all Square.
Oh,
all
fantastic.
my POS Square.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the tips. Thanks for the advice. And really, thanks for coming on and sharing some of your experience with us and what's going on. We've been, for probably the last 5 or 6 shows, we've been bitching and moaning about the slow play and what our local courses, look like. And we've been wanting to get an owner operator or even somebody in maintenance on for a while. We've had a lot of people promise to do it and then back out at the last second because they don't want to put their name on it. I get that. But it was pretty insightful, and we really, really appreciate your time today.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Luke.
You're welcome, man. Anytime. Let's do it again.
Is there
Absolutely
a special place that people can go to find you other than the website and Birrdi? I mean, is there like a social media that they can find you at or anything like that?
Yeah, pretty much all my social media is my name. So Luke Newland, and you got to spell a lot of vowels in a row. Good Dutch name. So it's Luke, LukeNeuwland.
Perfect. Yeah, and we'll have everything. So, I mean, anyone that listens to us up in Canada or anything, if you want to go check out the golf course, links will be in the description. Birrdi will be in the description, all that stuff. So check it all out. Birrdi's cool. That's a game changer. If we could get courses to utilize that, it would be a lot easier for people to book tee times and do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's rewarding you too and giving you value back by adding that loyalty program.
That would be outstanding. I mean, I tried calling a course that's not about 20 minutes away from us today, and their phone was a fast busy signal all day. So I found another number. I called them up, and the guy didn't even know the phone was broken. I said, "Hey, I've been trying to call you all morning, and your phones are down." He's like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Thanks for letting me know." Yeah. If I could book it online, I would, because that's the quickest, fastest. I don't have to talk to anybody, so I can do it while I'm working. I love that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Luke, thanks for joining us again. Everybody, thanks for listening. All our friends north of the border. I know there's a bunch of you out there. We appreciate you guys as well. If you got a chance and you're close, and you can make the drive, head over and give Luke some of your business. He'll give you 10% back.
I will give you 10% back.
That's right. That's right.
Cool. So, awesome. Luke, thanks again. Hang out with us once we're done with this for a few minutes, if you would.
Sounds good.
We'll wrap up. Everybody else, thanks for listening. If you got a one and done pick for me and you haven't got it to me yet, you know how to hit me up, ampedgolf@gmail.com, or you can get us on any social media site and just reach me there, and I'll put your name in and we'll see what we can do. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great week and hit them straight.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.